Welcome back to Making It with Minglet. Today we're going to be working on page 40. And if you'll remember, when I did page 39, I used the envelope that I had my quotes written on. And it is open. Now I can glue it shut, or I could tuck something in there. So there's a lot of possibilities on this page. I'm not sure where I want to start, but I am just going to start playing and see what happens. Just some abstract lines. Maybe like some neurographic stuff. Maybe. Some doodly doos. Dipsy doodles. One thing I definitely need to do is to secure the edges of this. And I'm going to leave that right into where it's still visible, but I do need to doctor on this. So we're going to put some glue here, and that's oozing out, and I don't want it to ooze. That's not what I wanted. I just want it to be secure. I didn't want to close it completely, so let's flip this one around and do the same thing on it. And the thing's a little wonky where it got damp, but it doesn't hurt anything. It is a junk journal. Now, with this, we've got a little bit of color here. We've got kind of a purple, bluish purple. We've got the teal that kind of bled through, which is fine. So, what colors do we want to use, and how do we want to use them? Well, being outside just a little bit, I loved all the greens I've seen. So I kind of want to get some green going on here. And I'm going to take a brush that's kind of wet, and I'm just going to drag it around. And the envelope has a little bit of a ridge to it. I'm not going to let that bother me at all. And there is no rhyme or reason to how I'm doing this. I'm just thinning this paint out and letting it just flow. Not really emphasizing on any one thing, just enjoying the freedom of using my dirty paint water and this beautiful green color. Might need to put this underneath here. We really haven't had that many pages that had green on them. We'll go ahead and get these edges that are white. I'm definitely going to get those covered. Now, you saw how little paint I put on there, but look how far you can make it go if you just add water. It's pretty simple. Doesn't have to be thick or heavy. It almost goes to like a chartreuse. I kind of like it. See if we can get that spread out just a little bit. Okay. Now let's let this dry just a moment, and we're going to have to decide what exactly we want to use for our quote today. I feel like flowers would be good, but do I want, what do I want to do? Yeah, I do want flowers. I think I do want flowers. So I think this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to let this dry, and while it's drying, I am going to go through and I'm going to pick out some of my stamps that are flowers, and then we are going to stamp on it with the flowers on this page mostly, but we'll do some around the edges. And we may even add, I'm going to blot this because it is not that warm today. It's not humid or anything like that, so it's not warm. It's not real warm in my room is what I'm trying to say. So it's probably going to take it just a little bit to dry. But I think I will do some of the stamps. I may even use some of these scraps, the little pieces that I've got laying around to add some texture. Got some words. Adventures, better together. Let's see what else I've got in this little cup. Love mail. That was a cute one. Got a couple of tickets, so I think I will maybe. Several possibilities here, so let's get this off, let it dry. I'm going to pause, and as soon as this is dry, I'll be back, and when I come back, I will have my stamp pad and my floral stamps out, and we'll do some random stamping. So give me just a few minutes, and I'll see you. All right, luckily it's nice and dry, so I have pulled out a lot of stamps. Matter of fact, I didn't know I had so many. We've got flowers on top of flowers, more flowers, flowers. So we've got a good variety, and we are going to just use our black, jet black archival ink, and we're going to start putting some pattern on this. Now, the ones that are like this, I think I can come back in and add some color, which I think may be very interesting. So I'm going to put that right there, and we'll do one on the other side as well. And that one's not very exciting, but it's cute. You get bonus points for being cute. Oh, that one's kind of gentle. Sorry, I'm shaking the table. That one will be an easy one to paint, fill in colors. And then I have this one that's kind of a little, real simple one. I like it because it's simple, but it does have a good impact. And I think I got this out of a really inexpensive kit at Michael's. there was like 4 or 5 different stamps in it, and it was maybe a couple of dollars. It wasn't much. I like that on the borders a whole lot. Where these pages have gotten kind of bumpy, it's a little bit harder to get the impression on. I've got these that are just kind of loose, but they're very similar. This one is a little bit different. And looking at this one, I've decided it's going to be too dark. It's going to have too much darkness, and I don't really want that. Now this one, when I used it before, it did print pretty good. So let's see if we can get some good prints out of it today. Oh yes, very nice, very, very nice. And it just occurred to me maybe if I put something solid and smooth behind it, it might help. You learn by doing. You don't learn by sitting still or not trying. And I'm going to put one up here over the writing. Let's slide that up. I'm liking it. I think that this is turning out pretty successful so far. All right. So the next thing I'll need to do with my stamps is clean them for sure. They're going to be ready for a good soapy water bath. All right. I'm going to pull my little palette, my little dirty palette down here. And I think I will use, I think I'm going to put some pink, a little bit of pink. And a little dab of yellow. If it'll come out. It's saying, I don't know. I don't want to play today. I didn't want to clean house today, or I didn't want to go out today, but I had to. The lizard's light burned out, and the lizard was very dark this morning, and I felt so bad because I was afraid it was getting too cold. But as soon as I got that light, put the new light in, it perked right up. She had her head up high after I went back in there, so I guess she thought the sun had come out and her world was all was right in her little world. She's funny though. She makes she'll go from side to side, just wherever I'm at. If I'm in the kitchen, she comes to the side where the kitchen is. If I'm in the living room, she'll sit facing it, unless the sun is just really, really bright. And then if the sun's really, really bright, sometimes she'll do it a little differently. She'll face the sun until she hears the noise, and then she'll turn around and point in the direction that we're in. I'm sure it's been confusing for her because there's a lot more activity here all the time because she's in our dining room, and there's 3 people here normally. So I think that it's probably different for her than being at home where it's just her and the dog most of the day. But she's only got a few more days with me. They'll be traveling back tomorrow. And she will have just a few more days of class. And Martine will be finished very quickly. We've seen her work hard to earn this degree, so it's going to be fun to go to our graduation. But even though she finishes up soon, the actual graduation is not until August. So by then she will have taken her state boards and may even be in a new position. We'll just have to see how it goes. Trying to focus here, so forgive me for not being chatty. Sometimes my brain can't do two things. And I'm kind of mixing the yellow and the pink together. It doesn't have to be perfect. I just wanted to add a little bit of pop. And I think that I'm getting that out of this. We'll make these daisies. So the centers will get painted yellow. I planted daisies this year. I'm just hoping we got a good rain the day after I planted them, and I'm hoping that they really take growth and will come back year after year. We'll see. It's the first time I've planted the Shasta daisies. I planted quite a few different varieties of flowers. I planted Shasta daisies. I planted an orange daisy-like flower. Can't remember what its proper name was, but I've got lavender, a creeping sage, which will be multiple colors. And I think that's going to be kind of fun. But all of this is on this hill that I've been working on, trying to get something to grow. Because it's very hard for my husband to do it with a riding lawnmower because it's steep. And I worry about him on the lawnmower and it flipping over. So I'm hoping that this is going to, help that hill not erode and keep him off of it with the lawnmower. Now it was more black, more solid petals with the stamp. I don't mind them, but I'm going to go ahead and just paint a little bit inside them, but I'm not going to annihilate the outer part of it. I want the outer lines to still show. And it doesn't even have to be real thick. The paint doesn't have to be real thick. I could have thinned it and left that shadowing back behind. But I think this is going to work out okay. If you wonder why I'm turning the pages as I work on them, it's because I'm less likely to put my hand in them in the wet paint. Because I don't particularly want to do that. It's not that I don't get paint on me all the time anyway, but I'd prefer not to smudge it or mess it up after I've done it. Want it to be once and done. Okay, now these flowers right here, I think I'm going to get a purple out. And this is a color shift, so I'm not sure how it's going to act. So this is just a trial. We're going to use it no matter what, but we'll see what it does, how it acts. I know when you use it on the gel plate, you usually end up with some pretty good stuff. Well, it's showing a little better than I thought it would. I thought I might have to put more than one coat on it, but it may not be that way. Alright, let's try to get a pinkish purple inside. At least it's interesting, right? I like that. That's okay. I can live with that. We'll go ahead and do the pinky part inside. That's a different kind of pink there. I've not cleaned my brush out for any of these. Just call me a lazy painter today. The pollen is bad outside. I'd love to go out and do something outside, but it is horrible. My husband blew off the porch and the deck yesterday, and our daughter's car that's been sitting for a week it's a white car, but right now it is like 4 or 5 shades of yellow and green. It's just covered from top to bottom. She's going to want to get it cleaned if she's going to drive it anywhere anytime soon, that's for sure. Okay, now let's see what other colors. We've got that one needs to be the pinky orange. I think that one was kind of the mix of the pink and the yellow. Let's see if I can get this one without making a mess here. Yeah, we got her. We got it. And I just left the color that was coming through. So that's good. Now we got to decide what we're going to do with these little ones here. And for some reason I feel like they need to be blue. And I happen to have this little bit of turquoise here. It's called Aqua Sky. It's apple barrel. So we'll just put a little dot of that on the palette because that's all we're going to need. Just a dot. And that should be more than enough to cover all of these little ones. And I'm pulling it out. I'm trying not to get it too solid because I want the little details of the veins and stuff like that to still show through, which is happening. And where it's blending with the green paint, it's actually coming out pretty good, I think. So we went to a car show yesterday, and because it was in the South, a lot of people celebrate Easter Monday, and a lot of our local companies close and give their family, give people an extended time on their holiday weekend. So there were lots and lots of people there. It was packed. We normally leave the house about 3:30, and we were a little bit late, and by the time we got there, we were lucky to get our favorite spot because a lot of the spots were just filled up already. And the thing runs to like 7 o'clock, but some of them had gotten there as early as 3 o'clock to get the premium spots. We've decided we're not doing that. It's just too early to go out there. We've got another one tonight. This will be the first time this company has had one, so we're going to be interested to see how it goes and how they have things set up. Hopefully it'll be fun. We've made a lot of friends doing the car shows. Matter of fact, my husband meets quite a few of the men all get together on Thursdays and have lunch together. So I think it's kind of cool. I'm glad he's got, friends outside of the ones he made when he was working and our other friends. It's nice that he can go and do that. I usually come up here and craft while he's gone. So I don't mind him going. I mean, we're together most of the time. We do things together, and if I wanted to go, I could. I mean, the guys look at me because I go all the time. Most of their wives will come occasionally to the car shows, but we go together all the time, and I don't think they'd mind if I crashed their party, but I don't particularly. It's like, I'm okay. I'm good. I don't have to crash your party. Okay. I feel like this one's going to have to be yellow on the inside. And we're going to give it a purple center. Now, the one thing that I could do, where I've kind of put these scribbles in, I feel like I could put leaves in, but I want to put my quote in first. So let's get that quote ready to go. Alright, I've got it written in here. We're using every flower blooms in its own time. And that quote is from, I'll get that name. It's Ken Petty. Let's make sure we give people credit. There we go. Now I am going to take my green marker, which is going to be a different shade of green. And this is just a pen and gear. This is a Walmart marker. It's nothing fancy. But I feel like I want to have like a few leaves. I'm going to take some of these marks that I made and I'm going to make them like little vines. Nothing difficult, just simple, but it'll add a little more to the page. And leaves are easy to make. Now there are fancier leaves you can do, but this is just keeping it simple. And if I put one right here and then color that one, it'll look like it kind of runs together. And we're going to do the same thing on this little circle here. We're going to follow it from this point. trying to decide where I want to do it next. Maybe right here, just a little short, little bit. I think having the repetitive stuff, just kind of adds, a cohesive look to something. I mean, you don't have to do it the same way I do. These are just ideas, and I don't mind that you can see those marks. I don't mind them at all. Now this one, I think I'm going to do something different on it. I'm going to make it more loose. And then I'm going to add something to that. Let's put one right there. Okay. I'm going to introduce a color that is not on here presently. Just 3 little dots. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And you can do them you can do them bigger, smaller, just circles. They don't even have to touch each other to, make a nice little effect. Look at that. Now I'm happy with that. I think that really ties things together nicely. I do think that I might also, let's grab that marker back out. Let's take this one and give it some of those little spirals. And we're going to do the same 1, 2, 3. All right. So I am very pleased with this. This is going to be our page 40. And let's see, where do we want to put our page number? I think I'm going to put it right here. And I think we will do it with the green marker. All right. So that is our day 40 in the books. So we've got 10 more before we'll be halfway through. So I'm very excited. And I just realized I've got a flower I didn't paint. So let's fix that real quick. Before we go. Paint's starting to dry. Let's just slap something on there. We'll just get whatever color we happen to be able to pick up is what it's going to be. And we're going to call it real good. All right, so we did have some paint that was still wet, and we were able to use it. Now, we still have an option of using the envelope. I did not close it, nor did I put any cards in it. I do have lots of cards that could go in it, but we'll decide that when all of this is dry, and maybe we'll come back and add that before we go on to our volume 4. So until next time, I hope you've had a great time. I enjoy you coming along for this 100-day challenge. And until next time, be well, my friends. Bye-bye.